Today, I wanted to talk about creating financial freedom by improving your relationship with money. So, why is this important? It's an integral part of our lives. Everybody deals with money. It's part of what we have to deal with on a daily basis. It impacts our decisions, our relationships, our overall well-being. When we have a healthy relationship with money, we can experience less stress, less anxiety, and worry less about our financial situation. It also allows you to take control of your financial future so you can achieve financial goals and create that financial freedom that we've been talking about. So, when we're talking about a relationship with money, a relationship is just our thoughts about something or someone. So, there's a lot of different relationships that we have with money across the board. And most of them we picked up from our parents, and not most of us came from like uber wealthy families. So, these thoughts and this relationship with money is usually very strained. We might have parents who fought about money. We might be in a current relationship where we're fighting about money. So when we fix this relationship that we have with money, it can solve a lot of problems in every area of our life. So let's talk about what a relationship is and what a healthy relationship is with money and what that looks like. So first off, I want you to think of a relationship with money just like you would with a person. Now, a lot of us have been taught that the love of money is really bad. But I want you to think of this relationship with money like a person, like I just said, and think about what love actually feels like. Because what we are actually equating it with is obsession. And that is not a healthy relationship. So I would say I love money, and that might turn a lot of people off from this podcast even, right? But I want you to like think about this for just a little bit and what an actual loving relationship looks like with a person. Okay? It feels a lot better, right? It doesn't feel like obsession and it doesn't feel like avoidance, right? So when we're talking about a relationship with money and we're talking about love, I want you to see that love is actually in the middle between obsession and a hate or avoidance. Okay. So love lets money flow. Love is giving. Love is receiving. Love is all of these good things that we enjoy, right? So I enjoy being around this person. I enjoy being around money. I love having it flow in my life. I let it do the things that help it to grow, right? This is a loving relationship. If we're talking about obsession, it becomes very needy, graspy, very stalker vibes, right? It's not a great place to be. It becomes what we think about constantly. And this happens to people who have a lot of money, and it happens to people who have no money. You can be anywhere on the spectrum and have an obsession with money that isn't healthy. Okay, so that's the one end. And then on the other end, we have people who hate money or just want to avoid it. They say they like money, but they won't look at their bank accounts. They don't open their bills. They're behind on payments, right? All of these things, these are the people who say, oh, yeah, I like having money, but I actually don't want to look at it. So think about a relationship like that. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with somebody who looks at me and says, oh, yeah, I like having you around, but I don't want to look at your face, right? Like that's not a super great relationship either. So if you're in that place where you are avoiding, hiding, right, you need to actually shine a light on your financial situation. And this can be very scary for a lot of people because, right, ignorance is bliss, but it's not. It's causing you a lot of stress and overwhelm, right? And so you need to actually start looking. You need to open the bills. You need to open the bank accounts and look at those things. You may need to talk to a financial advisor, right? So these are all things that you need to do in order to improve your relationship so that you can be in a loving relationship with money. Because somebody who loves money isn't needy or graspy, isn't hoarding it, but they have a good relationship. They're looking at it, they're following it, they're tracking it, but they are allowing it to come and go. There's no stress about it, right? It's not a jealous relationship. It's just love. Okay. So this is really important. The second thing I want to talk about is gratitude. So if we're in a relationship, one of the really important things that we have to have is gratitude. So everything is a choice. When you pay your bills, that is a choice. And a lot of people say, oh, I have to pay my bills, but you do not have to. There's just a consequence that you won't like if you don't pay your bills. So if I don't pay my electricity bill, I most likely won't have electricity. So when I realized that it's a choice and that I actually like having electricity and I enjoy paying for it because I enjoy the result of it, I become less resentful of having to do it, right? Of paying that bill. Because I can look at it and say, isn't this amazing that I can just pay somebody money and then I can have electricity to my home? That's amazing, right? That's a place of gratitude. I'm so grateful that I get to pay this so that I can have electricity. That is what we want to be in this place of gratitude. There's a gratitude in a relationship will make a huge difference. Okay, the last part that I want to talk about is recognizing that you have enough and that you have always had enough. We always talk about, I don't have enough money, but we're going to talk about this and put it back in the relationship view. If somebody were to look at you and say, you're never enough, that's an abusive situation. It's not a good place to be when somebody's telling us that we're not enough. And that's basically what we're telling to our money. You've never been enough, right? But when we can look at our lives, I want you to look back and gain evidence for how you have always had enough. Now, you may have been dirt poor, right? But you have always had enough money to do what needs to happen. And how do I know this? Is because you're still alive, right? So if you don't have enough oxygen or enough water or enough food, you would die, right? So that's how we know that you don't have enough. That would be my bar, right? So that can't happen with money. There are people who have way less money than you all over the world, and they have enough money, not to do what they want, to do what needs to happen. Always had enough. And the reason that we need to get into this mindset is because it doesn't matter where you fall on the spectrum of having no money or having lots of money, right? People are always thinking, I don't have enough money. Now, the problem with this is that it just creates this needy, graspy part, right? Like we were talking about, kind of obsessive with it. So we have to look at our lives and see, oh, actually, I've always had enough and I have enough now. And then the next step would be like, I have more than enough. And when this is what will really create abundance in your life, I have more than enough money. And this is really important because that relationship is what's going to create money and let it flow in and out of our lives. We're more willing to take risks, not crazy risks, but we're more willing to invest, you should say, that we're more willing when we do our due diligence and we're doing those things. But we also know that if the money doesn't come back, if something is to fail or fall through, that we're going to be okay. So there's less stress around it. And so, but also when we invest, we know that people that invest, that's how we create wealth. It's a matter of like, we allow money to flow in and out of our lives. We receive it, we enjoy it, we're open to it, we're giving it, we're investing it. That is what love of money comes from. So you have to look at a lot of your thoughts that like maybe your parents gave you. And I would definitely do this. Just write a list of all your thoughts about money, thoughts about saving, thoughts about spending, thoughts about investing in yourself, investing in your business, investing in other people's businesses. We have lots of thoughts. And there's even things that we were all told, like maybe money doesn't grow on trees, but money literally does grow on trees that's made of paper, right? So just like we can start to like look at these thoughts and realize, oh, like all of this is like hurting me and stopping me from using my money in a way that's going to benefit me financially in the future. And once we have this loving relationship, that's when we're going to be able to make a plan, come up with ideas. We're going to invest, we're going to save, we're going to use it in a way that will serve us, create that financial stability and financial freedom that we're all looking for. There's some other thoughts that I would definitely have you look at too. Like I should be satisfied with what I have, or I shouldn't want more, or I shouldn't be chasing money. All of those are not helpful thoughts. So definitely look at like, how does those make me feel when I think I should be this way? All of these should thoughts I know are going to create shame and guilt. So that's not a good relationship to have with money, that like all this money is like making me feel bad, because then we're going to avoid money too. And then we get into the cognitive dissonance where we say we want money, but we actually don't want money because it's creating shame and guilt. And so we're just living in this kind of in between space. So here's some more thoughts that can maybe help with having an abundance mindset around money. Money is easy. Money is abundant. Money flows through my life. Money is fun. Maybe money grows on trees. I actually have one of my favorite little sayings that I thought is, I'm planting money trees, like every time I do stuff. And once we understand more about money, where it comes from, what we do with it, how it value is created, that can also open this whole thing up as well. So I definitely want you to look into some of that. And I might even do another podcast on this because it is such a broad topic. But let's just start with our thoughts about money and creating this loving relationship so that we can be more open and see what's actually happening. And it will definitely change in other areas of lives, but that's a good place to start. So hopefully this helps. Have a great day, and I will talk to you on the next one. Bye.